what we're gonna do is instead, I was gonna ask how we normally did, but instead, everybody gonna have a specific one. We're gonna bring out a precept, break it down for this different recommendations. I'm gonna give each one of y'all brothers a different one. For me, I'm gonna deal with anxiety, brothers that deal with anxiety. I'm gonna bring out one precept, break it down, and that's and wrap it up. Monagan, you deal with brothers that's recommendations with brothers that got the evil eye thing going on towards their brothers. They being unbrotherly, they got the evil eye. Benji, you deal with recommendation and the precept for brothers that always negative. They got these negative demons on them. They always thinking negatively and whatnot. Yakawa, you deal with brothers that you deal with a precept for brothers that got this demon that's lazy and lukewarm demon on them. Lazy and lukewarm. Barakabar, you deal with the recommendation for brothers that got the insignificant or the low self-esteem demon. All right. Gabar Yahawada, you deal with you find a precept for the brothers that got the puffed up demon, the know-it-all demon. Right? They know it all, you know. They always telling everybody, you know, they know everything. And Atazawam, you deal with the impatient demon, no patience. All right, they ain't got no patience for shit. All right, so how about you save that answer, Gabar Yahawada, just for the sake of time, and we're gonna just lock it out which each one that I gave brothers. All right, I'm gonna start it off. Right, recommendation for brothers that's dealing with anxiety, which obviously means you are suffering more in your head more than necessary. I think the Seneca quote is, you suffer more than that. He who suffers more who suffers before it's necessary, right? And so the precept to go with that is 1 Peter 5:7, casting all your care upon him, for he cared for you. You ain't got no reason to be anxious about shit. Cast that care upon the Lord. Just when you thought whatever disability you have, dysfunctionality you have, or worry and fear and anxiety that's causing you can't take that. Imagine you putting that into a bottle and then you wrapping it up or packaging it up and you shooting it off into the garbage. Well, that needs to be exactly how you deal with that anxiety. Put it off. It don't need to be with you no more. Casting all your care upon him, for he cared for you, and the Lord gonna take care of that. You can walk without your anxiety. You can live without your anxiety. Matter of fact, you're gonna live better without it. Hey, you got it, Monagan.
I was trying to look for the scripture. I couldn't find it.
You can quote it.
The first scripture that came to mind is how
tell them what it is again. Salaki,
so it's how if you're dealing with if you constantly have an evil eye or a grudge towards a brother, the scripture that comes to mind is you're supposed to esteem your brother higher than yourself. I'm not exactly sure where the scripture is, but
I'll find it.
When you have that in mind, it humbles you to say to the point, okay, this is a brother. He's doing the work. He's sincere. So let me turn inside and see what the hell is going on with me.
I got it.
You found it?
Is it Philippians 2 and 3? Or what y'all got?
Philippians 2 and 3.
Philippians 2 and 3. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves.
Right. And now when you apply that, that's what counters that evil eye. Because of course we know the Lord cursed us, right? But we're in the process of the Lord overturning our captivity and reversing these curses. You know what I mean? So that's the scripture that comes to mind,
Benji, you got it.
All right, this is Sirach 26:4. Whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart toward the Lord, he shall at all times rejoice with the cheerful countenance. And that's just trusting in Yahweh Shem Yahweh, that he's going to, like it says in Jeremiah, I brought all these evils upon you, therefore I will bring the good. So the Lord is going to do just that. We go through our trials, we go through our tribulations, whatever the case may be. But even in those trials and tribulations, it says the Lord daily loadeth us with benefits. All right, and then ultimately, the Lord is going to save us and give us things we can't even imagine, man. All right, I have not seen, you have not heard what the Lord has prepared for them that love Him, man. So we can be down or up. Paul said, "Be abased or bound." All right, but hey, we got a good heart towards the Lord, and we're gonna have a cheerful countenance, man.
Gone. Yakubwa.
That stress is the top killer, man.
Uh-oh.
Stuff out, man. Just trust in the word of Yahweh Bashim Hashai, his prophecy.
Beautiful.
Hey, so yeah, at first I was gonna just get like the main scripture in Revelations, but I actually went back to Sirach.
What's your recommendation for?
So for brothers that are lazy or lukewarm.
Gone.
So I ended up getting in Sirach going back to the 33rd chapter to give more understanding. Sirach 33 and 24 says, "Fodder, a wand, and burdens are for the ass, and bread, correction, and work for a servant." So you got to understand that you can't be lazy in this truth. You're going to have to put in work. That is a prerequisite to being in this ministry. All right. That's something that you have to put in order to receive salvation, because the scriptures say in Proverbs that a sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold, but in the end, he's going to be without. So you have to present some type of work or distribution to the Lord when he returns. That's how he's going to determine your outcome. So it says, "If thou set thy servant to labor, thou shalt find rest. But if thou let him go idle," meaning becoming lazy, all right, "he shall seek liberty." So you're not going to end up doing what you should be doing. But it says, "A yoke and a collar do bow the neck." So you need to, that work is to keep you in order, all right, to be prepared and in right standing with the one that actually gave you out that work. So it says, "A yoke and a collar do bow the neck, so are tortures and torments for an evil servant." So it says, "Send him to labor that he be not idle, for idleness teacheth much evil." So you're not going to get where you need to be being lazy, man. The Lord's going to, like the scriptures say in Revelations, spew you out of his mouth. So you got to put in work. That's what I'm going to put on there for recommendation.
Wow. Barakabah, you there?
Yes, sir.
What's your recommendation for?
The recommendation is for low self-esteem, or you just feeling like you don't compare to what you expect to be good or righteous or perfect. And the scriptures that I have is this. It's been coming out all night. Benji just quoted it through the Spirit. Philippians chapter 4, verse 11. "Not that I speak in the respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound." So I know how to have nothing and to have something. "Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry. I know how to be in the spirit when I'm hungry. I know how to be in the spirit when I'm full." It says, "Both abound and suffer need." No matter the weather, no matter your state, keep the faith. Still believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Still give diligence to make your call of election sure. Just because you're going through something doesn't mean you forsake it. Just because you're catching hell, can't keep up with your bills, family problems, whatever the case may be, sickness, just continue believing on the Lord. You're not forsaken. Like the brother said, it's not over till the fat lady sing. It says, "I can do all things through Mashiach, which strengthens me." So everything that brothers you see, the apostles you see, elders you see, elder brothers of camps, it's all the Spirit of the Lord using these men. It's not the men that you see with your corruptible eyes. It's the Spirit that dwells within these men, which is Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, the same power that you're seeking after. I got one more and that's it. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 4, verse 10. It said, "And Moses said unto the Lord," he had low self-esteem. He didn't believe that he was able to communicate with Israel. "And Moses said unto the Lord, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither hereto nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech." He wasn't fluent in the Hebrew tongue, and of a slow tongue, right? He might have had a speech impediment, It says, "And the Lord Yahweh said unto him, Who have made man's mouth? Or who maketh the dumb or the deaf or the seeing or the blind? Have not Yahweh? Now therefore go, and I will I will be with thy mouth and teach thee what thou shalt say. And he said, O my Lord, send, I pray thee, a hand of him that will send. And after that, you read all about the works of Moses that the Lord gave Moses to do, just like he will give you brothers.
Your pa. Beautiful. Gabar Yahawada. What's your recommendation for?
If any man think he know of anything or know everything, and combat it and know it all demon. This is 1 Corinthians 8 and 2. I'll start at 1. The points in 2. It says, take care with your liberty is the title of this. It says, now as touching things offered unto idols, for as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth. If any man think he know of anything, he know of nothing, yet as he ought to know. All right, and then I looked it up in the different Bible versions. In 8 and 2, again in the NIT, it says, "Those who think they know something do not yet know as they ought to know." Yeah, everything you've given. I'm sorry, and the Berean literal Bible says, if any, I'm sorry, the one who thinks he knows something does not yet know as he ought to know. If anyone thinks to have known anything, not yet does he know as it is necessary to know. So you don't know everything. When you don't just, hey, like that dude Nate tried to get us to say that we here at Great Millstone said we know everything. No, concerning the prophecies, concerning the truth, we know 100%, and that's what we get. You know, but you don't have to know it all. You can always learn. This is a constant development, you know, with a constant edification and a constant building. So any man that thinks he know everything, you need to cast that demon up out of you, man, because you don't know everything. And that was it.
Yeah, pa. How y'all liking this, by the way? Is all right?
Rejuvenating, brother.
Con.
The problem
Like,
that he that watered himself, edifying.
Beautiful, bro. What you got for us, Altazawan?
Con. So what I got was the recommendation for combating low patience. All right, which will make me think of this scripture, because you know when you come into this truth, sometimes you try to mimic and mock other brothers who has a certain level of understanding, and you want to hurry up and get that. But you know you got to be patient. You know, it's experience. It takes time. You know, to get certain understandings. You know, so of course we know Ecclesiastes 9:11. The race is not given to the swift. So it says, I returned, Ecclesiastes 9:11, I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift. Now, I want to go jump back and forth real quick with the NLT. It says, I have observed something under the sun. The faster runner does not always win the race. And we know that from the turtle and the turtle and the rabbit story. So just because you want to obtain all this understanding and knowledge, first of all, you got to make sure you can digest it all. Okay, you're trying to eat more meat than you eat than you drink the milk. You know, you'll vomit it up. It's what is it in? I believe it's Proverbs concerning if you eat too much honey, you make that belly sick. So you have to drink that milk before you try to eat the meat, because you can actually vomit this truth up. You know, it says, let's go back to the KJV part. It says, I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not given to the swift, nor the battle to the strong. And just because you're as strong, you're the strongest, you may not win the battle because you're the strongest. The wise and prudent may win a battle over someone who has the most muscles. Well, just like Floyd. Floyd isn't as strong, but he has a different particular precision level of boxing that he could knock you out with a certain punch, or well, he really don't knock niggas out, but he can beat you. You know, he can beat you over you being more stronger than him. You know, it says so let's go to the NLT part of that. It say, and the strongest warrior doesn't always win the battle. All right. It says the wise sometimes go hungry, and the skillful are not necessarily wealthy, and those who are educated don't always lead to successful lives. It is all decided by chance, by beginning in the right place at the right time. So let me go back real quick. It says, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to the men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happen to all men. So when it's time when it's time for the Lord to build up your spirit to be at a particular level, whatever measurement He has you in, you're gonna get there. Okay, you can't just jump into this thing and go as fast as possible, because that's not what this is about. In fact, patience goes back to suffering. Okay, so you have to suffer and go through certain things before you obtain to that particular measure. And real quick, one more, Ecclesiastes 12:12. And further by these, my son, be admonished of making many books. There is no end, and much study is weariness of flesh. So if you're trying to study for 8 hours straight, 10 hours straight, you're going to tire yourself out, and then you're not going to be able to retain all of the information that you gathered. Okay, and that goes into vomiting as well, you know.